Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review. This is episode number 59, and in this one I'm reviewing the 846th episode for the One Piece anime, A Lightning Counterattack, Nami and Zeus the Thundercloud. And I'm also going to review the 912th chapter in the manga, Amigasa Village. Yep. Let's first start with the newest episode of the anime, which adapts chapter 875, but it adapts pages 2 to 14. I'm like, okay, they're not going to adapt the whole chapter? Okay, fine. What happens in this particular episode? Okay, the Science Retrieval Team, which at this point consists of Luffy, Nami, Chopper and Brook are off someplace else. They actually come back in this episode, but a big chunk of the group, which is Luffy, Nami, Luffy, Nami, Jinbei, Carrot, Pedro, and Luffy, Nami, Sanji, Jinbei, Pedro, and Carrot. Basically 6 people. They're on the run from Big Mom. They're going through the seducing woods. They come across a bridge they come across many episodes back, pretty much around the starting point, like the first quarter of this particular arc. It is interesting, though. They go back to the seducing woods. They start going back in this last episode. And this one, they're still in the seducing woods. And they're running through the woods. Oh, don't worry. I will get to Chopper and Brook in a minute. I'm happy to see you, by the way. So, running through the woods. Carrot comes to the genius. Now, the first time they go through the woods and they don't have a big plan. So, they get ambushed, but they take out the ambush really quickly. So, they run through the woods. And Carrot comes to the interesting idea of her running up on the trees on top of them to see exactly where the Thousand Sunny is. It definitely sounds like a good idea for her to do. She is very fast, but she's not very agile, quickly enough. So, even though she failed, Pedro went up and did it. He went to the top, pointed out exactly where Thousand Sunny is. They're all slicing up some evil trees along the way, and that's where pretty much they're heading. And of course, Nami seduces Zeus to her side, and of course he eats a weather egg, which turns into a gigantic black cloud that basically is all, and he's all lovey-dovey for Nami. And Nami at one point tells Sanji to carry her and run. Like, okay, sounds like a good idea. And they run the Thousand Sunny. You see the Thousand Sunny. You don't really see the Sunny that much in this episode. You see it briefly. You see some forces on board preparing for an ambush, but you do see it briefly in the distance. But they don't show Katakuri's force on. Yeah, that's a little something they don't show, right? Yeah. So that's what ends with that. Chopper and Brook had the funniest part of the episode. Okay, they come to the area where the shark submarine is, the shark submersible is. So there's a bunch of cream in the place, and according to Brook, this is as far as when the whole cake chateau collapsed. Apparently, so the cream filling stretched out this far, that particular distance, which I'm like, wow, that must have been a lot of whipped cream. So they get to it by having Chopper eat a bunch of it. Yeah, eat a bunch of it. And then they open the thing up, and there's more inside. So Chopper has to eat more of that. But he doesn't get sick, surprisingly. Normally, in real life, if you eat that much, you get sick. Yeah. But it's fiction, so give it what you will. So they're in the submersible, though Brook's having a little trouble with difficulty piloting. And of course, Chopper looks at the window, sees like a merman. Probably Jinbei's crew. They don't show him this episode. They do help him out later on. And then their part ends with him seeing what looks like a white tiger, but it's a white tiger sea king. Yep. First time in quite a while one of these sea kings actually made physical appearance in the series. Excuse me. Yeah, it's been a while. I would say the last time officially a sea king has shown up in the series prior to this was... Oh, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time since they showed one of the seeks. From what I can tell, this must have been fillers. I don't know this. I'm sure that a lot did happen in the manga. thing they did add is, of course, going to the submersible. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. Almost forgot. Luffy beats up Prometheus. Tries to, fails, and of course Jinbei gets on the action, throws a bunch of water at him, and that basically cools him down. Yep. Trying to see that. So let's see. I mean, this is probably I'm looking at right now. Apparently, they made some small changes here and there, but the changes are fine. Yeah, perfectly fine because they have more time in anime to do this. Yep. Overall, really good episode. And next week they're going to the crew is going to this portion of the Sasuke Cheer team is going to reunite with Pudding. Yep, a reunite with Pudding. And of course, Chopper and Brook are going to take on Katakuri's versus on 1,000 Sunday, which is going to be really interesting. And next episode is called a Coincidental Reunion: Sanji and the Evil Pudding in Love. Now to move on to the newest chapter of the manga, Amos Village. Another chapter with no cover story, just basically a good cover, a good piece of artwork by Oda, featuring the Straw Hats, like all of them, except for Jinbei. Yeah, Jinbei is the only one not here. Even though technically he is a member of the crew, I'm a little surprised he's not included part of these things. He should be part of it by now. He's basically the ship's helmsman now. So the thing starts out pretty much where the last chapter left off, where yeah, where Thomas talks about Ace like he's waiting for, and go back there, thank you. Because his name is Portuguese, Tama. What's his name Portuguese? He's like, yeah, big bro. He says, yep, he's dead. He's like, you're lying. You're nothing but a liar, big bro. And of course, she passed out. Yeah, I think a lot of people were not. I'm sure a lot of people are not that surprised that she would not believe him about Ace died. Ace dying. Yeah, he died in the Marine Ford. He got killed by an admiral. The guy who killed him is now the fleet admiral. So he got promoted. He basically got the promotion to fleet admiral. People were considering him because he killed Fire Fist Ace, despite the fact that Aokiji wanted the job because his predecessor was his mentor. So yeah, they actually talk a little about apparently Ace came to this country some point in the past. Maybe when he was looking for the Blackbeard pirates, that might be a possibility. And of course, the source says he's heard of him. His name is Hatsu. He's a bladesmith. Basically, he's a blacksmith. He makes swords. Okay, so. And they talk about X Drake. Yeah, he's actually one of the 11 supernovas. Yeah, he hasn't been seen very much, surprisingly. First thing he's brought up. Yep. So, excuse me, now they showed like a brief flashback of Ace coming to the country. And of course, Ace basically, he'll be very happy. And then he gets changed and puts on a kimono. Yep, because he's in samurai country, so put on a freaking kimono. Says, nah, you stand out, but... And he takes a sword, and it turns out the sword he takes is one of the 21 great swords, which Luffy knows somebody who actually is an expert when it comes to swords. He is swordsmith. Forgot to put that on there, my mistake. Yeah. So he takes it. You know somebody who has it. It's like the 21 blades. In case you're curious, though, Zoro had one of those swords, and they broke. Yeah, it broke. So he got a replacement one. He's like, Kazu, sounds familiar. So he takes Tomi to a doctor. He's like, wait, that's a cursed sword. Luffy's not going to use it anyway. He doesn't use weapons at all. Bro. He's like, Tama, I hope this dog knows the way to find a doctor. And it's like, he promised me see whatever. Take out a sea with him. And of course, I guess Luffy probably will take that promise up, take her out to sea. Why not? He's had a little boy in the ship. Why not have a little girl? Yep. And of course, she even stretches his face out. The longest geezer was right. I'm not surprised that she stretches his face out like this. Yeah. Because he's biting rubber. It's like really is a wasteland. A tiger, a wild boar. They eat. Until I fell asleep. And then Luffy said, wait, woman. Is that Sanji? Please help me. As well. And he looks, it's like what, booze? He's like, hey, is that Zoro? Yeah, frickin' Zoro. It's only been a few chapters since the last seen the guy. And it's like, Luffy, you're finally here. He's like, very happy. He's like, you got meat, yay. And then we see, I don't remember this guy's name. He's the religious one of all the 11 supernovas. And he has some beasts. And Luffy and Zoro about to go he's about to kick some animal butt. Yeah, and definitely next week that there will not be a new chapter. Wow, such an interesting chapter. This chapter was fantastic. Loved it. Great chapter. Great scene in Return of Zoro. I give this chapter 9.75 out of 10. It is fantastic. I love it. Can't wait for the next chapter. Though we have to wait 2 weeks. Though, in the case of the anime, we're not waiting 2 weeks for that one because that will be a new episode next week. Yep. So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is going to be will be episode 60 of this random review series. And my next video I'm going to put up is, in fact, My Hero Academia. Yep. You'll hear my thoughts on both the newest chapter of the manga and newest episode of the anime soon, okay? But until we see you in the next episode, next video, bye.